5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 486 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday, another day here in the arena, guys. And today is a transitional day because, of course, college basketball is over with. Sadly, went 0-1, minus 1 unit. Very frustrating. Played the UConn-Michigan over. And guys, when you get 3 points of CLV on a total, you're feeling pretty good about it, especially late action going your way. I got over 143.5. We even talked about 144.5, 145.5 on the day yesterday on the podcast leading up to the game. Well, the line closed at 146.5. So again, we did our part, finding good edge here on the total. We had some really good rhythm system plays, looking closer to a 150, 151 final score. And what happened? Well, they just could not shoot at all. You even heard some comments on the broadcast from, Ian Eagle and a couple of other guys, because one of the rims, it was just like, I don't know if it was, you've seen those movies where like they'll put like a magnet in the rim, or, they'll throw a game. I forget which movie I'm thinking about, but there's one of them where, every shot is missed, or you go to a carnival and they do something with, throwing the football through the, through the circle, or trying to throw a ring over the top of a Coke bottle, and it just bounces out. That left side of the rim, if you know what I'm talking about, it was rough for Michigan first half. UConn couldn't score in the second half. But really, when you look at it, it was the shooting. UConn shot 31% from the field. Michigan shot 38% from the field. And of course, you look at Michigan, they averaged 94 points a game in the tournament. They scored 69. So coming up short, unfortunately. Would have been nice to win our final play of the season. But I don't really kick myself too much. Looking back on it, it's like, yeah, UConn plays good defense. They slow it down. It's a slog. But hey, you get over 143.5. 144.5, 145.5. It closes 146.5. I mean, we were on the right side of that number, beat the closing line. The late action was in our favor. Unfortunately, just couldn't score enough baskets and ended landing up on, 132. So we needed 14 more points or something like that. I'm kicking myself too because maybe I just was, a paralysis by analysis with the side. I don't kick myself too much because I think that was a tough handicap. But if you just go to the very basic tenet, which we look for on the pod of public was on Michigan, yet the line dropped toward Connecticut, plus 7.5, plus 7 down to 6.5. Of course, UConn cashed by the skin of their teeth. They lost by 6 points. So shout out to anyone who was able to win with Connecticut plus 6.5. But again, point here, point there. Michigan scores one more point. Michigan covers the minus 6.5. So it goes to show you just how difficult it is to cover a number, and just how good the odds makers are. I mean, at one point, UConn's winning the game. Another point, you look at that game, Michigan is up by like 11. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? But obviously we had a tough beat there, I would say, with the over. When you beat the closing line and you don't come through, you don't beat yourself up too much. Like I would be more frustrated if I bet like over 143.5 and it closed 142.5 and the line went against me. But either way, guys, we're going to put wraps here on college basketball. And as I hinted at to start the pod, it's a transitional day because now we are full steam ahead, grinders with blinders, like a horse with the blinders on Major League Baseball. So MLB is a very long season. There's a lot of ups and downs. Again, I try to limit my bets because if you bet too many MLB games every single day, the volume just can really kind of hurt you if you go through a tough stretch. But flat betting, risking one unit, focusing exclusively on Major League Baseball. Yeah, maybe some NBA playoffs, some NHL playoffs. But really, if you're a grinder when it comes to Major League Baseball, now is the time. College basketball is over to devote all of our attention toward the MLB betting market. So with that being said, trying to get the pod out a little bit earlier today because I have a 3-pack of MLB plays that I want to talk with you guys about today and break down. And one of them is an early matchup here, a 1:10 p.m. Eastern time game. I have a 3:10 game and then a 6:40 game. So we got some day sweats. Nothing better than that. So I don't know if you're at home or whatever you're up to, or maybe you're in your cubicle with one tab on your computer on MLB TV or whatever. Let's see if we can cash a couple tickets here. Try to go 2-1, eke out a winning day. Now, that being said, let's waste no more time. Talk about this early game here. So you have enough time to put this play in if you want to ride it with me. Now, I'm looking at a 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians. Now, a little background here. Let's set the stage, talk splits, line move system matches. Also, there are a lot of interesting totals today. There's a lot of bad weather today, so we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Royals come in 5-5. They won yesterday's series opener 4-2 against Cleveland. Came through and cashed as a plus 105 road dog. Now, in this early afternoon rematch, the Royals are going with the lefty Noah Cameron. He's 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. Guardians, meanwhile, who are 6-5, they're going to go with the righty Gavin Williams. He's also been off to a good start, 1-1, 2.25 ERA. So what are you seeing across the market here? Well, this game opened with Cleveland listed as a very, very short home favorite. So some books were Cleveland minus 110, minus 115. Kansas City around plus 100, minus 105. So a relatively short number both ways. But Sharps clearly have jumped on Cleveland here, laying a short number in a bounce back spot because we've seen Cleveland get up from minus 110 to minus 115 and a lot of books now minus 120. So this line is really moving clearly in one direction towards Cleveland. No buyback on Kansas City. First indicator here, smart money going with the Guardians. Now let's look to the bet splits. DraftKings, Guardians getting 68% of moneyline bets, 76% of moneyline dollars. Over at Circa, 73% of moneyline bets, over 90% of moneyline dollars on the Guardians. So both DraftKings and Circa showing a nice low bets, higher dollar split, Pro and Joe in favor of the Guards. Couple system matches that jumped out to me. One, home favorites off a loss. So you're at home, you got the home crowd, you got the last at bat. You are favored, so you're expected to win, and you're off a loss, so maybe some added motivation to get some revenge. That system is 24-14 this year, 63%, 5% ROI. Layer in another angle here. Home favorites playing an opponent who missed the playoffs the previous year. So you're at home, expected to win, and the team you're facing wasn't that great the season previously. That system is 44-22 this year, 67%, 8% ROI. Now the Guardians also have some really good correlative betting because this is a very, very low total. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw 6 with a total. So the total actually opened at 7, got down to 6.5, and now it's dropping to 6. So low total, typically a good sign for the favorite because the fewer amount of expected runs scored, more likely to come from quote-unquote that better team, which would be Cleveland based on around the minus 120 price. Guardians bullpen, hopefully we got a good start here out of Gavin Williams, but bullpen has been better with the Guards, 4.39 ERA versus 6.17 for the Royals. Also, I had 3 rhythm system matches, all predictions lighting up on Cleveland here. So the rhythm AI model is with us, telling us to take the Guardians. Now, in terms of the total, it's hard to bet an under 6 now. If you still had 6.5, there could be some value there. But 38% bets, 53% dollars at DraftKings on the under, 36% bets, 51% dollars at Circa on the under. But really, it's about the weather, guys. If you're in Cleveland, you're going to this game, you better bundle up because it is going to be 30 degrees with 10-mile-per-hour winds blowing in directly from center field. So it makes sense why we've seen this total really fall 7, now all the way down to 6. But add all up, Cleveland at home, bad weather, they're used to it. Got a line move in their favor. Got a bunch of good system matches. Let's see if we can start our day off, knock on wood, fingers crossed, with a win. I'm on the Guardians. I got them minus 114 at Bally Bet. Shop around most books now, closer to minus 120. Another early afternoon matchup. Let's look toward a 3:10 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch between the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox. Now, setting the stage here, the O's are 4-6 on the year, but did take yesterday's series opener against the Chi Sox. They won 2-1, hung on and came through as a minus 140 road favorite. So, in this late afternoon rematch, the O's are going to go with the lefty Trevor Rogers. Remember, they picked him up from the Marlins, and he was really bad when he first came over, but he's been really good since. He is now 2-0, 1.38 ERA. White Sox, who are 4-6, they're going to go with the righty Shane Smith. He's 0-2 with a 19.29 ERA. So what have you seen across the market? Well, this game opened, Baltimore listed around a minus 135 road favorite, Chicago around a plus 115 home dog. And the wise guys have jumped on the O's, laying a relatively modest price. Open minus 135. Orioles are now up to minus 145. I'm seeing some shops now get closer to minus 150, minus 155. So clear steam toward the Birds here. Now, splits look pretty good on Baltimore as well. They're getting 81% of bets, 87% of money line dollars at DK. Over at Circa, looking toward the sharps in Vegas, in the desert, 80% bets, over 90% money line dollars on Baltimore. So we're combining the line move on Baltimore with the low bets, higher dollars at DK and Circa. Want to mention this just if people do like run lines. I typically, go with the money line. Just, O's win by 1. I want to cash my ticket. It's kind of like money lining short favorite. But just to, I guess the interest of just explaining the whole betting market, did notice a lot of money go Orioles minus 1.5 plus 125 on the run line because they're getting 50% spread bets, 98% spread dollars at Circa, 66% spread bets, 78% dollars on the spread at DraftKings. Now the O's have another couple angles I like. Non-division favorite, lack of familiarity, benefiting the better team. Low total. Total on this one is 7. We've also seen this fall 8 down to 7. There's another weather, cold wind blowing in. We'll get to that in a second. But fewer amount of expected runs scored, more likely to come from, quote unquote, the better team was expected to win. And of course, non-division favorite, lack of familiarity, also benefiting the better team expected to win. Now, Orioles, better team batting average. Hopefully their bats show up and get to Smith. They're hitting 246 versus 209 for the Southsiders. Better on-base percentage, 321 versus 289. Better team ERA, 4.33 versus 5.76. If we isolate lefty-righty, Orioles hopefully an advantage here as well. They're hitting 247 against righties. Doesn't seem great, but that is 11th best in baseball. White Sox are only hitting 216 against lefties. That ranks 19th. In terms of the total, open at 8, down to 7. Again, maybe this is a 3-0 Baltimore win, which I would love, but I don't love betting unders or overs when the total's moved a full run already. But I did notice 40% bets, 58% dollars on the under. And the forecast, again, if anytime you see an 8 fall to 7 or a 7 fall down to 6, especially early in April, it's usually a weather-based play. So we're looking at like high 30s, 8 to 10 mile per hour winds blowing directly in from center. Again, Chicago, the windy city, of course. But I'm going to go Orioles in this spot, coming off a win, trying to get another one here. We got a good line move in their favor, sharp steam, good splits, good system matches. And oh, by the way, popped open Juice Reel. Noticed a 19%, 19%, pretty big sharp mush edge in favor of the O's, telling me that the sharper winning bettors out there who are listening like you guys have also leaned with Baltimore. So second bet of the day for me, mid-afternoon matchup here. I got the O's minus 142 at FanDuel. Shop around a lot of books getting closer to around minus 150. Last bet of the night. Let's go to a 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch in South Beach. We got the Cincinnati Redlegs visiting the Miami Marlins. Now, the Reds off to a good start. Terry Francona's got them playing well again, 7-3 overall. They won the series opener against the Fish yesterday, 2-0. Came through as a plus 120 road dog. Rematch for tonight. The Reds are going to go with the lefty Andrew Abbott. He's 0-1 with a 3.09 ERA. Fish, meanwhile, who are 6-4, they're going to go to their ace, Sandy Alcantara, 2-0, ERA of 0. He's been great in his first 2 starts. I'm hoping that continues. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, Miami opened around a very short minus 120, minus 120 home favorite. Cincy around a plus 105, plus 100 road dog. And we've seen nothing but movement toward the Fish. We've seen Miami now jump up minus 120, minus 125, up to around minus 135. I'm seeing some shops even inch closer to minus 140. So one-way movement on Miami. Really like this over at Circa, 71% money line bets, 85% of money line dollars on the Fish. So it tells me the wise guys out in the desert also going with Miami. One advantage here, hopefully, would be the non-division favorite system match. Again, lack of familiarity benefiting, quote-unquote, the better team. Correlative betting value. Now, we're in Miami. It's warmer, and they're in a dome there in Miami. So weather's not an issue, but it is a low total of 7. So fair amount of expected runs scored also, again, typically benefiting the better team because more of those runs are likely to come from the better team who is favored. Did notice as well, home favorites off a loss. That would match the same thing with Cleveland we talked about earlier. Like the Marlins in this spot, they're 24-14, 63%, 5% ROI this year. Did see some run line action on Miami as well. On the run line, minus 1.5, plus 155. I just went money line with Miami, but did notice only 39% spread bets, but 65% spread dollars. going with that Miami to win by 2 or more run line bet. A couple advantages as well. Marlins, better batting average. Hope their bats can get to Abbott. They're hitting 260 as a team, only 210 for Cincy. Marlins have the higher on-base percentage, 335 versus 290. And their offense has scored more runs, 49 versus 28 for Cincy. Lastly, 2 little cherries on top. We have a 5%, nothing huge, but a 5% sharp mush edge on Juice Reel in favor of Miami. But here's what I really like. Every morning when I wake up, I'll look at the overnight numbers and I'll wait for my rhythm models to populate. But I always look for situations where all 3 Green Star moneyline models are on the same side, and this is a game where they're all on the same side. Rhythm is very high on Miami here because all 3 of my rhythm recommendations, the rhythm model and the 2 models that I've created, are on Miami, but not just caution flags. Green Star, light it up and go and ready to go here on Miami. So I like that rhythm is also in our favor. So I'm going to bet the fish here, hopefully to bounce back with their ace on the mound. I got Miami minus 132 at FanDuel, but again, shop around. Some books are closer to minus 135, minus 140. So a couple day sweats. Game here for tonight. Cleveland, Baltimore, Miami. Let's see if we can get 2 out of 3 and eke out a winning day as we transition full-time into betting Major League Baseball. So that about does it for episode 486 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. As always, guys, this is the part of the pod where I first say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. We celebrate the great wins together. We commiserate the bad losses together and the bad beats and, getting multiple points of CLV on a total and still losing in college basketball, which, again, is frustrating. But it does tell me we read the market right. But anyway, guys, this is the part of the pod where I say thank you, and then I also ask a favor of you. If you are so inclined, could you please do a couple things to help me grow this podcast to reach more bettors? One, just give it a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined under the rate and review tab. Click the follow button. Recommend the pod to a friend. If you also want to retweet the pod when I put out on Twitter each day at Josh_insights, I would very much appreciate that as well. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on what the numbers are telling us, not what our bias and our gut instinct and our favoritism is telling us. If this style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, maybe you have someone in your life who could use some data-driven tips, maybe they're brand new and want to get into betting, or they've been betting for a while and just throw darts, and you ask them, hey, why'd you play this team tonight? And they say, I felt like it. Well, you know what you should do? You should go to Amazon.com, type in either the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Those are the 2 books that I've written. Very proud of both. If you want to grab one or both of them and bring them to the sports book, I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer. We'll get some Cracker Jacks, some peanuts, get a beer or 2, or maybe a ginger ale. We'll sweat some baseball together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My 2 favorite sports betting apps, because they're all about data. And again, if you can layer on as much data as you can, go away from your bias and lean on the numbers, it just makes me more confident in placing a wager. So Rhythm does a great job of powering this pod. Rhythm provides us these fantastic AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Again, you might be thinking, okay, college basketball is over, but Rhythm has MLB live in the app. They also have NBA. It's always been there, but definitely want to give Rhythm a shot. You can download the app with a 7-day free trial and get 25% off if you use promo code START25. Then you got Juice Reel. Got to go download the Juice Reel app. Even if you just want to sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action. It tracks your CLV. It tracks your performance. You can say, I didn't realize I'm doing really well at MLB totals and struggling on money lines. Or, wow, I had a really bad year in NBA, but I did pretty good in college basketball. It gives you the breakdowns of all of your it's basically a report card of all your action, keeping you honest, and again, giving you more insight into your strengths and weaknesses. But then also you're going to get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures. And if you want to support the pod, you can sign up to get the All Systems Go best bet picks exclusively on Juice Reel. As soon as I make a bet, it goes right to the Juice Reel app. You can tail, fade, do whatever you like, but you will be supporting the pod here, tipping your podcast host. As always, this pod is free, but you can get those ASG best bet picks from Juice Reel for $4.99 a week. Yeah, that's $5 for a week's worth of plays. Next, so of course, download Rhythm, download Juice Reel. Give them a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, you have a live odds page. Well, if you don't have one, you really need one because it's a critical tool to becoming a successful sports bettor. Because you got to be able to track the betting market. The betting market's always moving. Lines are going up. Lines are going down. Teams are getting steamed. You got to pick off good numbers. Got to compare open to current. See which direction the line has moved. Pull up the line history. You want to place an in-game wager. I must admit, when I was watching that UConn-Michigan game last night, it was a very slow start, and I'm like, ooh, this pace isn't good. This is a Big East slow, half-court game. Well, I was thinking about live lining the under. I didn't end up doing it. I just took my medicine, lost my overplay, but you could have gotten a live line at one point of under 141.5, which came through. So you can do all of this, track the market, find the best price, get those in-game wagering odds with the help of Odds Logic. Odds Logic is a fantastic tool. It's the best live odds page around. If you want to give it a shot, all you got to do is go to oddslogic.com/Josh123. That's going to give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. Next, you have you downloaded, I should say, the Profit X app. I've partnered with Profit X. They are a sports betting exchange. And you're going to get way better prices. So it's going to make you, it's going to be easier for you to become a winning bettor because you're risking less juice in a betting market exchange against other bettors instead of having to pay the -115, -120 to the house. So go download Profit X, use promo code JOSH for a 20% deposit match anytime you make your first deposit. So that about does it, guys. On a Tuesday here with college basketball in the rear view and now full-scale MLB. As always, 2 final thoughts. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plain Ridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walter sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me. And unfortunately, you're not going to show me that over, even though it beat the closing line. I don't know. Did you have Michigan? If so, my apologies. If you had UConn, nice hit there if you went contrarian, which I should have done in a championship game. But either way, guys, coming off an 0-1 or a 1-0, a winning night, a losing night, a hot streak, a cold streak, whether we're grinding and just can barely eke out winning days, or the winning days are flowing, or we feel like we're ice cold. Again, betting goes ebbs and flows. There's going to be times when you're hot, times when you're cold, times when you're just grinding, and you're kind of even down the middle. But we just got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint. Not get too high and cocky and arrogant when things are going our way. Not get too low and down on ourselves and depressed when things aren't going our way. We just got to stick with it and play the system matches. And you might know by now, but if you don't, that's okay. The system matches we are looking for are games that are simultaneously against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So hope everyone has a great Tuesday. Let's get some winners on the diamond, guys, and they'll be right back at it tomorrow. That'll be a big Wednesday hump day edition of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Tuesday.